Sound testing. Good?
Where do we start?
Hello, everybody. I know it has been a little while since I've come on here, but I wanted to just make another video and talk about something that is very important in our realm of lighting and filmmaking, and that is setting up for interviews. I don't have a lot of experience setting up for interviews, and I've never done this kind of work professionally. So I just wanted to try my hand at it, and I came up with 2 examples, and I just want to talk through it in this video. Really quickly, the last 2 weeks I shot 2 examples for you guys, and the first one is gonna be a interior nighttime interview setup, and the second one was supposed to be a interior daytime, but I completely ran out of light, so it's turned into kind of a learning experience, we'll say. The first thing that I thought about was, where am I going to place this chair? Where am I going to place this subject? So for this, I wanted to set up and show off this big dining room space. And what I did was I put the chair at the very end of the room, so where I can still shoot, and then you can see the entire basically floor in the background. The reason why I want to show the entire space, especially for this, is we have a lot of depth going on. So what I can do, and as you can see, is we can put practicals in the back in different spots, and we can use different kind of lighting textures to give this interview setup a really, I hate to say it, but cinematic look. The first light that I used was a Aputure 300, and that just had a big light dome on it and was key lighting my subject. The second light that I used was it was like the Nanlite 720B, and I really wanted to get texture on the railing you could see in the right side of the frame and some on the floor. So what I did was I mimicked a street light and just put the 720 pretty far back and really high up, so we could get a nice quality of light coming through those windows. Something that's really, really important for interviews and these kind of subject talking shots is having a catch light, and it's a really small detail that will make these shots just look a little bit more professional. So for example, this shot, I'm using an MC really, really dim, and all that's doing is just giving me a little catch light, and I did the same for our subject's eyes in this shot. So for the second interview setup, you can tell something is not right, and I'm sure some of you can instantly tell what is wrong, and I just want to quickly talk through that. I originally set this up for a daytime interior interview kind of setup. All the lights that were used in this shot, they were all set to a daylight kind of look, and right before I shot it, the clouds moved in and took my daylight. So a few things that I want to go over, specifically problems with this interview shot, is you can tell that obviously there's no light coming through those windows, and the output on the key light is completely for daylight. What I could do to fix this would just be turning the color temperature of that key light to the practical in the back, and that probably would work. Second thing that I noticed that was a problem with this shot, there is a line that just does not look like it should be there, and that's coming from our key light. Our key light was being shot through a frost material, and that light from the key light is getting cut from that frost material and making that line on the floors. What I would do is I would just take a flag and cut that line out, put it next to the frost. I could have probably used honestly anything, but I just didn't notice it at the time. There is a fill light on the right side of her face, and it definitely is not hitting her enough, and I think the angle's just off, or the output's not enough. Those were the things that I noticed with this shot that just does not look right. And like I said, changing the color temperature of that key light to match the practical behind her would probably fix most of these issues. Some big takeaways from shooting this and looking at the footage would be, make sure that your subject is in a good spot in the location that you're in. Create depth somehow, and a lot of times I know you might be interviewing in a really small room. But then that's when lighting can come in and create depth using lighting. And if you have a big open space, use it. The most important part of your frame is going to be your subject. And what I recommend is really spending time on setting up a really nice quality key light. Your subject is going to be the center of attention because that is who's speaking, and for interviews, that's going to be your most important part of the frame. So I just wanted to share these shots and the things that I took away from looking back at this footage. And if you guys have any questions at all, just leave them in the comments below or send me a DM or anything. And that's going to be it for this week. And hopefully I'll see you next week.
Okay, cut that shit.